Welcome in, everybody. Greg's Weekend Rental, episode 19.
Yeah.
Wow. Almost at number 20. We'll have to do the 20th episode anniversary celebration or something.
Yeah, and then every 5 from there.
We got to keep the landmarks and the milestones.
That's
they got to
right.
keep coming in.
Yeah.
But what happened yesterday? 1,000-Year Door from GameCube finally got remade on Nintendo Switch. Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door was finally brought forward. That has, I think it's 2002?
Yeah.
2001?
Yeah.
So we're talking over 20 years here. A game that was locked to the GameCube finally got a remaster, and it looks beautiful. I don't know if you're gonna play it yourself. I don't know if you've seen it at all yet. It looks beautiful. With it, the launch in Nintendo New York. Well, it's twofold here. So Nintendo New York, the literal physical location, was giving out I don't even know if it was a pre-order bonus or if it's just you waited in line and you got one. I think you just had to go wait. I don't think you even had to pre-order, but they're giving out a bonus for anyone who went there, and you get a slipcover for your Nintendo Switch copy. And the slipcover is the OG design. So it's like the GameCube design, because I think the Switch one ran the Japanese original cover art. So Nintendo Store New York, you can get yourself this OG, really cool slipcover to put over your game. Only way to get it in the United States. Nintendo Store New York. That's it. Not online. That's it. In Canada, GameStop, with every pre-order in Canada only, was also giving out one of these slipcovers. And it's essentially the exact same. But because we are, of course, like this is a collecting podcast first and foremost, like it's not the same. So the GameStop Canada one, you're going to see these online at this point. They're selling for like 60-ish US, the GameStop ones. The Nintendo Store New York ones are anywhere over 100 US. They just, like, I've been hawking eBay to get one. They don't come up.
Right.
So I don't even know what price they are right now. Around 150 US is all I've seen for some comps. I think there were 3 or 4 of them that sold on launch day on eBay. So I'm still looking. I don't know if I'll buy one, but the Canada ones from GameStop are bilingual. Because of course they are.
Yeah.
That is, how do you ever differentiate Canada stuff? Has French on it.
Yeah. Darn it.
Yeah. Well, seriously though.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't, oh my God, Canada would be. Canada's still kind of cashing out on these things. Because even with these being tremendously more available than the United States,
I was going to say they would probably be much more available.
Oh, it has to be. I would argue like a 100-to-1 availability.
Yeah, one location versus
all of Canada.
Yeah.
Any GameStop in Canada, right? Like it almost no exclusivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with those selling for 60 to 70 right now, that's huge. Like you're literally given, like the game costs, well, I guess $89.99 Canadian.
Yeah.
So you're getting almost the game for free if you sell your slipcover.
Yeah, which people should absolutely do is sell it right now.
People are absolutely doing it.
That's not going to hold up.
Especially with people not knowing the difference.
Yeah.
Like I made a short little video going over it and stuff, and talking about the US one, and that it's clearly differentiable from the Canadian one. And people are like, oh, Canada also got it. Oh, they gave it out in Canada. And it's like, I know they did. Watch the video. I talked about the difference. So I think a lot of people, maybe not, I think people are buying the Canada one and thinking they're getting like the exclusive cover.
Right.
And you absolutely are not.
Right.
With that, someone asked in the Discord too, there was a question there of like, does seller have a responsibility to educate, I guess? If you're selling something, is it your responsibility to properly declare or say that which variant or whatever it is, like, and whether nefarious or not, maybe you accidentally don't. Whose responsibility is it to know what they're buying or what's being sold?
Right. Well, you know what? I think maybe at the end of the day, it's kind of a dual responsibility on both seller and buyer, but also there's the factor of sometimes just not knowing. People put things up for sale all the time. They have no idea what it is or, the exact specifics of it. Maybe it's someone's like mom or something is just like throwing it up on Marketplace or something. She has no idea it's Canadian variant or whatever.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
If someone were to market, like let's say they say, exclusive cover or whatever, even if they know it's the Canada one, is that like taboo? Is that like,
I would say
at what point do you get into a world of like scamming?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you are, you can, it's like kind of scam by omission, right?
But yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious
You're
about.
kind of telling the truth, but not the whole. truth. So I don't know. It's there's kind of I think a line there if you're marketing it as an exclusive cover. I mean, which kind of
Kind
GameStop
of is.
is.
It's GameStop exclusive.
It
Like,
is, yeah. So there's really no lie in that, but yeah, I think you can kind of get into scummy territory if you're trying to like hope someone buys it that they're they think they're buying something else, but
like almost purposely mislabeling at
right.
that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's kind of where I sit on it too. Is it is at the end of the day, all said and done, if you buy the wrong thing, like you're the one who's screwed on it. So ultimately, it's your responsibility to make sure you know what you're purchasing, especially on eBay or something where it's like Wild West type stuff. Like you said, you can't trust an eBay seller. You have no idea who's on the other side of the phone or the computer screen. So for you to just blindly be like, oh, they say it's a blank, 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 blank. Well, good thing I know nothing and buy it now.
Yeah.
Like, you simply can't do that. It's 2024. Yeah. I think most people understand you cannot just do that. It sucks that you're gonna get screwed by some sellers, but like you can't just go blind faith on people.
Yeah, that's true. It's very easy to buy the wrong things, and I mean, like when it comes to these super modern speculative things, you really want to catch the wave on the initial sale. It's
do you care? Do you care about this at all? The GameStop one, the Nintendo one, is this something?
I don't care in the slightest. Truly, I don't care. I'm not going to spend 60 or 100 or 150 on a piece of paper. I'd rather
it might be cardboard. Well, to be fair,
whatever it is. Gloss. It's probably glossy paper for inserting in the.
It's a slipcover. It goes. Should be cardboard. I hope it's cardboard. That's paper.
No, it's going to be glossy paper because that's the only thing you can insert in the Switch case, right?
They're not inserting in the Switch case. You don't even know what the heck you're getting. Yet. That's the issue here. You don't even know how great this is. What you get is a slipcover. Like you put your Switch game.
Oh, so it's an outer outside. Cover.
Yes.
Okay.
Now are you in?
See, from the pictures you sent me, it looked just like the paper insert that you put in.
Yeah. So essentially, like if we go to the world of graded, you'll have your graded copy with the slipcover over top of it, and it'll 9.88 plus slipcover grade on the back.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool. I still don't care.
Still not convinced.
It's cool. I just still don't care.
Much better than an insert.
You know what? I'd rather buy. I'd rather spend much more money and buy a CIB copy of the original.
You don't even have to spend much more money.
Or, I mean,
there is no much more money there. You might get the CIB cheaper at this point.
maybe. You know what? I would rather buy probably a sealed copy then, in that case.
Yeah. Like that's like as stupid as it is. I mean, if the US Nintendo Store exclusive slipcover is selling for like 100 US, 150 US, you're getting there for a sealed GameCube copy.
You're catching the kind of initial excitement on the release of the game. So it's like someone who buys this maybe and hangs on to it for 5 years is. I don't think anyone's really going to care that much.
Oh, I think you're wrong. I think you're completely wrong.
Really? Okay.
Oh, look at Nintendo New York stuff in general. So you had like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Limited Edition or whatever.
Yeah.
How many was that limited to? Maybe 2,000? I can't remember now. Maybe 500?
Yeah.
It comes with the blue shell and everything. It's a freaking grail. One of the most expensive Wii U things that exist. Hyrule Warriors Special Edition. Nintendo Store exclusive.
But I mean, it's also a whole game.
Sure, but like... Yeah, it's not though. It's extra crap.
Okay.
Because the game itself was printed anywhere.
Yeah.
So like, it's extra crap that you're paying for essentially.
Yeah.
I just think that with how limited this was in its distribution, like people are saying they were outside the Nintendo New York store, lined up to get this, and by noon they were out of them. Okay. So I don't know how many people cycle through the store in 3-4 hours, but like distribution on it seems extremely limited. In a world where the Switch doesn't really have first-party stuff that's likely going to be that rare, I think this will be like... I believe in it. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm copium because I just love Thousand Year Door, but I genuinely believe in this slipcover to be like a future piece.
Okay, that's interesting.
The Nintendo Store exclusive one.
I just wonder how many will show up and how many will be preserved in nice condition.
I agree.
Like, that would tank the market, really. If you have like 500 copies sitting out there.
Like, are you talking excess overstock, or do you mean people just keeping them safe?
I just mean people keeping them safe in general.
Okay.
Like, you see what I mean? Like, if the majority of people that buy them and keep them really, really nice, and you have hundreds of copies available in the future, it's like, well, is the price really going to hold up that much? I don't know. That's something I don't really know.
No, that's the biggest thing about it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I don't know if it was limited, like, did 100 people go through the store? Did 500? Did 5,000 go through the store?
It's New York, so,
Yeah, it literally could be 5,000
it could be
plus.
5,000, yeah.
I just don't know how much volume could be in, what the store opens at 8 a.m., sold out by noon. Maybe something like that. I don't know. 4 hours. How many people can go through that store?
Yeah.
That's, like, genuinely the big question, because it's not actually numbered. So...
Yeah, we don't really know. Yeah.
It's speculation on all sides right now.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, that's what this exactly is modern speculation.
Oh, it is. And, I kind of love it. I love the guessing game of it. I love the gamble of it. It's exciting.
It's cool and it's fun.
Yeah, it just is. Obviously, don't spend money you don't have to spend, but it's like, man, speculating is fun.
Yeah.
And at 100 US, I am a buyer.
Yeah, I mean, it really is,
At 200, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's where I'll take it to. 100 US, if one pops up, I'll bin it immediately.
Yeah.
Just to have one. 100 bucks is, who cares, right? 100 bucks, I'll risk that. But 200,
And I wonder what the spread is going to be, for people who are, I mean, let's be honest, probably a lot of people are going to grade these down the road.
Down the road, yes.
I wonder what the spread's going to be on grades.
I also wonder if, like, it's going to be purchased up a lot by filthy casuals. Like you say, people are going to keep it safe and stuff. Do people have the mentality of a slipcover to like even if you put it on the game and put the game on your shelf, you're going to dent in that slipcover. Like you're bending the bottom of it inwards.
Yeah.
So you literally almost have to leave it flat.
Flat, yeah.
If you actually want it
unfolded,
to be
yeah. So question, how many will be graded with the game and how many will be maybe even VGA'd flat?
Flatty. Give it the old flat designation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I want a graded one with the not flat. I want it on the game.
On the game. Yeah. I could see that. You know what? That reminds me. I have a Spider-Man PS3 game. I forget which one it is, but it has the special limited Venom slipcover.
Oh, okay.
Over it and sealed. It's actually fairly valuable. I had no idea.
All of the Spider-Man games on 360 and PS3 now are they're like some of the most expensive games, like Shattered Dimensions, Web of Shadows. Those are all like very expensive games now on their respective consoles.
Yeah.
I don't know when that happened.
Yeah, it's weird because were any of them particularly good? I don't really know.
I was not into it would have been probably late 2000s. I wasn't playing superhero games at that time. I don't know what the heck I was doing around that time. 2008, 2009, 2010.
Yeah,
I don't even know anymore.
Playing
in high
Demon
school.
Souls.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
2009.
I think I was still in Counter-Strike. As crazy as that is. I think I was still playing some Counter-Strike Source and Diablo 2. I think that's why I was deep.
Yeah.
But with the 1,000-Year Door coming out now, this gets into the bigger trend here of Nintendo. Well, there's kind of the back and forth between Nintendo fans and I guess just civil war amongst Nintendo fans, I guess is how you can put it. Of that, we get these ports, we get these remakes. Nintendo has pumped out a lot of them in the past year or two. I mean, it's almost become a staple of Nintendo at this point to give us old products packaged as new products. Not just Nintendo, obviously we also got Final Fantasy, the Resident Evils. We get ports, remakes, remasters. It's a thing. Like we are fully in that era, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
But is it lazy? Is it bad? Is it... Because a lot of people have very strong opinions that it's not a good thing that we get pumped out. Like, there's 1,000-Year Door for full-price video game. Yes, it has graphical overhaul, and I guess, yeah, what all has to be done? How do you feel about ports, remakes, remasters? Give me your... Let's start broad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess my question would be with Paper Mario is it a ground-up remake, or is it just kind of a reskin and modern... Because, when we get, Link's Awakening, that's clearly made from the ground up.
I would call TTYD ground-up remake, then. It's a major graphical overhaul. They've changed some stuff with the game. They've added certain things like QOL improvements. I would call it ground-up remake.
Okay. Well,
Not just a reskin.
Yeah, then I think that's probably much better than a simple remaster. Because you could load up the original on a GameCube emulator and play it in 4K, and it'd probably look great.
Well, speaking of, the new one plays in 30 FPS.
Oh, yeah?
So there's already mods that exist. Of course, Nintendo will never do it, but you can already get 60 FPS mods.
Right.
For the brand new one that came out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you see that in, Breath of the Wild, mods and stuff.
Sure do.
So you get 4K, it's like, wow, this game looks great.
So you're okay with them coming, then? Ports, remasters?
Yeah, I think so. I think of the original Resident Evil remake on GameCube, and I know there's some people still have confusion over it where they think it's a remaster. No, it's ground up remake
No, I didn't know that.
for that game. Yeah.
So like it's completely distinct experiences?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
wow.
for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a reskin.
Yeah, I mean, I think they preserved a lot of the original infrastructure of the mansion and all that, all the same puzzles, that kind of stuff. But it's obviously, it's all the backgrounds are brand new. It's remade, new animations, new cutscenes, all that. So
Is that justifying to you of a full price? Because that's like, there's a few complaints here that people get into really big. So we'll start with the first one here. What price should they charge? When can you actually charge full price for something like this? Should they ever be allowed to charge full price for a game that they're just remaking?
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of R&D probably goes into those types of things. So I think a full remake is probably more justified as a full price game rather than something that's kind of like a remaster, like Wind Waker HD or
Yeah, those should not be full price.
yeah. Those are mostly just like, resolution increases, and they did some like small quality of life improvements on those too with some of the quests in those Zelda games, but I think I have a much harder time justifying like Skyward Sword HD, the recent one. I have a harder time paying full price for that than something that's remade from the ground up.
Are you fine with, like, say it's $69.99 for a brand new game? Are you okay with like a $49.99 price tag for something like Skyward Sword HD, or should it be even cheaper?
No, I think that seems fair. Like, I would, rather than having to go buy a Wii again or I mean, I guess you could emulate it, but it's still not the same.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I'm gonna
close,
emulate,
but
yeah. Because like Metroid Prime Remaster, I think was $49.99. I
Right.
believe in the US.
Yeah.
And it's. Did you play it?
I didn't, but I kind of want to because I never finished it.
I
on
kind of
GameCube.
want to as well.
Yeah.
From what I've seen or whatever, it's extremely true to the original. Like I don't even know if they changed any of the like maybe slight QOL improvements here and there. You know what I mean? Basically the same game, upscaled, new paint skin.
Yeah.
New skin. It has a new coat of paint on it.
Yeah.
Is that justifiable for $49.99? Is that changing anything? Like is an HD? Because I understand the gripes people have with it when you just get like, oh, here's Metroid Prime again, $49.99, and it's like. On the Wii, we already got Metroid Prime Trilogy, which already had some QOL and improvements. It was basically the best way to play Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3
Right.
when we got the trilogy on the Wii. And that as a collection was, I think it retailed at $69.99. Like, I think it was just like, here's all 3 games for it. It might have even been cheaper. It might have been a discount title when it came out.
Yeah.
And now it's like, here's Metroid Prime Remaster. It looks nicer than it was. $49.99 to get a single game.
Yeah.
Like, I do understand where the gripes come from with stuff like that. Especially Nintendo specifically, which, of course, it's freaking Nintendo. But you get, like, the Crash Insane trilogy coming out.
Yeah.
You had the Spyro Reignited, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Those did as much, if not more, than what Metroid Prime Remastered out. And you get all 3 of them. Of the Crash games, you get all 3 of the Spyros. With the same kind of upscaling, better. Just better, right? They just made them better. And then Nintendo, $49.99 a single title.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're really paying for convenience at that point. And like, people I think who play Switch primarily as their console maybe don't have a PC, can't play an emulated version. I think you're really just, the convenience is one of the main factors probably.
So you're justified? Like you're like, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, you know what? I haven't bought it because, truthfully,
yeah, you don't own it, so
I don't own it, and I think I was probably waiting for the price to drop before I bought it. So I was like, well, there are other brand new games I'd want to play, and maybe I'll save money and wait till it goes down if it ever happens.
That's
Nintendo.
That's kind of how I feel, though.
Yeah,
it's not that I think it's like. I mean, I guess I do because I don't buy it because I see it at $50 and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I could play Metroid Prime Remaster, like. Yeah. But then it's like.
Well, and even still with with used prices. Like it's still expensive, and I'm like GameStop, like
Well, that's
I'm not gonna
get Nintendo on discount.
I'm not gonna save like $5 on a used copy. Like I'll wait to see it in a pawn shop or something.
It's way harder to get them locally used. I've noticed that with this gen now. It's like, oh my god, if you want to get like a specific Switch game or a specific PS5, PS4, even, it's like just going onto your local used sites, man. it's scant.
Hmm.
There's nothing up.
Yeah.
Like, it's
People
not
are
even that
buying digitally.
Yeah, like truly, I notice it.
Yeah.
Like even the sports titles, you know, like you want to buy the last Madden, it's not just flooded on Kijiji. Usually, it's not just flooding the market.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really get one anymore.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It does kind of suck, you know. And I specifically bought the physical version of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because I knew once I beat it, I wouldn't play it again. So I'm like, you know, I can just sell it and make back some money.
Of course. Like that's what I love doing. That's what we used to always do with Madden titles.
Yeah.
Play it until Christmas and sell it before it's worthless.
Yeah,
exactly. Because
that's right.
that's it. Once the season's over, I mean, like, it is worthless.
Yeah.
So get rid of it. Someone can gift it for Christmas, and like that's your last hope. So with that, then pricing is the big thing people complain about. I think like a game like FF7 Remake, right?
Yeah.
I think that is fully justified, full price video game. There's no if, ands, or buts.
Well, yeah, it's completely changing the original structure of the game.
Yeah,
and
that is a brand new game, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you like the most egregious example on the other side, I think would be Mario 3D All Stars on Switch that came out.
Right.
Literally 3 emulators plugged on a thing, and like, here's full price game.
Yeah.
That was the most egregious example of like, hey, I like there every complaint about that was absolutely justified.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was garbage.
That being said, I still bought it just to play Galaxy, really, because the other two, you know, I could easily play.
No, I think that was the first time Sunshine was brought forward.
Oh yeah, Sunshine. That's right. That's the other one too. Galaxy and Sunshine. I didn't have my Wii anymore, so I didn't have my original disc, so I couldn't play those.
Yeah, it's fair to buy it. Like, it is, right? It's convenience. It's still a collection. But it's like buying it essentially sends the wrong message.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you're
I
like
had no
screwing yourself as a consumer.
I had no, you know, pretense that I like was buying it for the, you know, I was spending the money just because I wanted the convenience of playing those other two games and having them all together. Yeah, that's really it. But yeah, I was like, yeah, this is way overpriced, but I'm still buying it.
That's why they do it.
That's why they do it.
You're part of the problem, pal.
People just buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're part of the problem over there. The other big thing, like another complaint people have, and I don't know, nostalgia baiting. Is it's lazy to do this. They charge too much for it, and all they're doing is nostalgia baiting old Nintendo fans and rinsing them again.
Yeah. But we also just said, you know, selling 3 games in a collection, is that more justified? Well, maybe.
Maybe it is. And that's why, like, with nostalgia baiting, it's like, yes, it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course. You bring back IPs and stuff. You have known characters. You have known... of course, this is all going to resonate stronger than trying to create a brand new IP and just hope it sticks. Because the actual costs associated with R&D, writing, like coming up with this brand new thing, brand new story, brand new characters, and throwing it out to the world and having it flop, it's like movies. Why we get nostalgia movies and remakes and stuff is because it's a lot freaking safer and a lot freaking cheaper.
Yeah.
And yes, I understand that makes people angry. I get it. I would love that every brand new game that comes out is a brand new game and it's in something we've never seen before. But also, and maybe it's just because now I'm more of a filthy casual with gaming, but I like my nostalgia bait. I like my comfort food.
Right.
I don't play...
You know what you're getting.
I don't... Like, let's say in a year I play maybe 10 to 20 video games. I like the 1,000 Year Door comes out and it's like, oh, that's fantastic. Like, I loved this game 20 years ago. I haven't played it in probably 10, 15. Like, I want to experience this again. I'm happy that they give me this game from my childhood and reskin it, upscale it. Like, that's great to me. I'm not mad that they're nostalgia baiting me. I want to be baited, I guess is what I would say. Like, give me the bait. I will take it.
So I'm part of the problem now.
Yeah. But in this case, yes, I am absolutely the guy who's going to... That's why I didn't buy the 3D All-Stars, though. Like, okay, whatever, limited release collectors, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day...
You're not getting any QOL
I'm not
or
getting anything.
No. It's just the games.
I could just go sit down and slap up Dolphin on my Wii if I want to play, like, these games. You know, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't touched a lot of those. But if you're getting nostalgia with an actual new game, I'm fully okay with that.
When it comes to games like Resident Evil, you know, I'm a big fan of the series, but I wasn't in love with the first person games, like when 7 came out and now 8.
Okay.
So when they released RE2, the remake, finally, after like years of, you know, reading about it and them kind of talking about it, I was thrilled because it's like, you know, it's kind of back to... I love the third person aspect, and RE2 I think is one of the greatest games of all time. And remaking that from the ground up, I think is more justified because it's like Final Fantasy, where you're completely overhauling the original system from like this, you know, laggy kind of tank control style to a brand new game in a modern engine, and they, really redesigned the entire game to kind of like flow differently. So you're still, even though it looks familiar in a lot of ways, you're still playing a brand new game. You know how it's going to end, but all the nuances with them changing the layout of the police station and all these other aspects, it felt very fresh, which was cool.
I had never played Resident Evil 2 before.
Okay.
So when the remake came, I played it and I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
And I, as someone who loved the original, I found it very true to the original as well.
Oh, that's great to hear then.
Yeah.
Like that is something I do like when they do keep it true to the original, at least maintaining the main story plots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But with this nostalgia baiting and they're giving these games, like if Resident Evil 2 or 1 or 3 or whatever, if they didn't get these HD remake modern stuff, I'll be completely honest that I would never go back and play it at this point. I wouldn't. Maybe that makes me a bad gamer. I don't know, but I'm not plugging in a PS1 or whatever to play Resident Evil 2. Or I guess it's on GameCube, but whatever. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult with how gaming is these days, with how accessible literally any game in the world is accessible in minutes, almost. It's tough to be like, oh, well, I'm going to go and, like, this is Resident Evil weekend. I'm just going to go play the PS1 games when I have these brand new, exciting, everyone's talking about. Because not that I have to play what everyone else is playing, but I think we can all agree there's periods of time where it's a lot more socially rewarding, I guess maybe you could say, to play what's relevant.
Right.
When everyone's talking about a game, it's more fun to be playing it at that same time. And you're watching some YouTube play or people are talking about it. You can talk about your friends with it.
Yeah.
Rather than going all the way backwards and just having this solo personal experience.
Yeah.
I guess would be the difference.
Yeah, true.
But so with these games, ports coming forward and stuff, a lot of the stuff they're bringing forward. I mean, when Last of Us gets remaked in HD, like 6 years later, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I have that's dumb. I'm not buying The Last of Us again. I don't care if it looks nicer. That's dumb in my opinion. But when you take these games that are literally like 20 years old at this point and bring them forward, a lot of the audience that potentially could buy this game has probably never even played it before.
Yeah.
We're talking 20 years. It's a brand new audience that now 1,000 Year Door, for example, is being introduced to a brand new audience on Nintendo Switch.
Right.
Of course they should do that. Of course they should. It's one of the highest reviews Paper Mario games. People have hated everything else they've tried with Paper Mario. Let's just give them what they do like.
That's right. Give the people what they like.
Finally, right? Like Nintendo, like, oh my God, is that like we just had to give you guys this? Why didn't anyone tell you this? Like, we all did. We all said this is what we want. So hopefully if it sells well, I mean, we'll actually get more stuff in the same vein as well.
I mean, it's an iconic game for a reason, and I never played it actually as a kid. The first time I ever played it was maybe like 6 years ago.
Oh wow, you're actually pretty recent on it.
Yeah, and I had my Wii still. I kept my Wii and all my GameCube games, and I had bought a CIB copy of that game just to play it, and I played it and thought it was great. Like the writing is so good.
It is.
In those games.
They did change a little bit of the writing. I know that they
Yeah.
made it a little bit more like family friendly. I
Yeah,
guess I'd say.
I heard about that, and I was like, oh, I mean, the original. I can't compare it because I haven't played the new version, but
I haven't yet either.
But the writing was very quirky and charming, and yeah, a product of its time for sure.
Yeah, just a little bit more crass than we are now in 2024 as well.
Well, it's like, when you look at something like Conker's Bad Fur Day, it's like, how did that pass?
Yeah. Yes.
Like, holy man. Like, that's raunchy, let me tell you.
Something that literally just like, if it existed today, it'd be a niche indie title release that, might become a cult classic. Yeah. Not just like, here it is at Walmart. Like, go buy Conkers. It just came out,
Yeah, it's like almost adults only.
Yeah, pretty much.
On the verge of it, yeah.
With like great value, it made me think of it. With great value ports, remasters and stuff, if companies want to do that, like what Nintendo did with 3D All-Stars and stuff, Rare Replay was like one of the best value, I don't even know what you'd call it, remake
compilations,
port. Compilation port that ever existed.
Absolutely.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
And that was $29.99. I think that released as a budget title, and you got 30 games, including Perfect Dark, including Conker's Bad Fur Day.
And they're all like, reskinned and like running in high frame rate and 4K, and like playing Perfect Dark on that is the best experience, bar none.
And if they want to, like, oh my gosh, I wish, like, talking about nostalgia bait, pricing, all this stuff, and how bad it is. I wish Nintendo would do it more. I just wish they'd do it at a better price point and more consumer friendly. Yeah. Like, give me N64 games, give me games from Super Nintendo and stuff. Just slap a new coat of paint on them, but don't charge me $49.99.
Yeah.
Then I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to charge me $19.99 for like Final Fantasy II and it's upscaled, reskinned, it's great. Fantastic. Maybe I'll give it a go because it's like more accessible, more convenient, all this stuff. But like, I can't drop $50 on every GameCube game that you decide to upscale, I guess, would be my thing. And that's where I think a lot of the complaints come from.
Yeah. So I guess if they would have approached Metroid Prime like they did Thousand Year Door, it would have been much more justified.
It would have appealed to me more.
Right.
Yes, if it was like really, and I get it, you're doing a GameCube game where it already has good control, it already has good, like, it's probably harder to make really compelling rebuilds of these video games that are already modern in design.
Yeah,
if that makes
true.
sense.
Yeah, that's true. Like, that's why remaking like the OG Resident Evils works, because it's a complete overhaul of
Final
the system.
Fantasy VII. Like, it's completely, you modernize it. You completely modernize and change everything.
Yeah.
And that's like, I love it.
Yeah.
I want more of that.
What do you think about, did you ever play the Demon Souls PS5?
I didn't.
Okay. Because it's...
Like, how justified is that?
I mean,
that was a full price release, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks fantastic. Like...
Is it like extremely true to the original? Did they change anything from the original?
They approached it from the point of using the original code of the game and remade it from the ground up. So like all of the like exploits that you knew about the bosses and all that kind of, it's still all in there.
Okay.
Because the code's there, but it just looks like a AAA modern game. So it's kind of like what they did with the first Last of Us when they released they called it a remaster, but I mean they basically used the original code and into the new engine. So like you have animation improvement and texture improvement, and like I remember us talking about it a little bit, but like even just the density of foliage and things around in The Last of Us, the #1 remake, is incredible. So like it's kind of like, I won't say it's like playing a brand new game because nothing has changed in terms of the cutscenes, the story, all that, the environments, but everything is just overhauled and looks fantastic. So it's just a much better experience.
Yeah, man, as a full price release, I'll be honest, Demon Souls killed me. Like, I love the game, but like, man, you're gonna charge me again for Demon Souls, and you're gonna call that the launch title, and you're gonna like, that's the.
You know what? It's funny you say that, but that really prompted me to buy a PS5.
I believe it. I believe it for a lot of people. I believe it fully. It didn't hit with me, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're gonna,
maybe
I want bonus content. Yeah. I want something.
Yeah.
Leave the core game itself alone. Give me 3 hours of gameplay on the other side or something. Something.
Yeah.
For a full price release, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think they what they also did was they re-recorded a lot of the dialogue and did brand new music and stuff for it too. But yeah, I see what you mean, and I wish they would have actually done an expansion to it. With this, now it's like overhauled in this brand new system. It's like, let's get a Demon Souls expansion because it's so good. Something. That extra little something to make it justifiable for me to spend another $80 on a game I already bought. And like, at least with some of those Switch ports when they brought like the Wii U to the Switch ones, like I think it's Super Mario 3D World. They gave you Bowser's Fury. Is it great? But it's something. It's something. If you're gonna, especially with a lot of the Wii U to Switch stuff, it was an absolute slap in the face to anyone who owned a Wii U. Suddenly, every game you bought is just being like re-released again because no one frickin' bought them the first time around. Yeah, right.
So it's like just give me something where it's like, okay, cool. Like I bought it once and I'll buy it again because you care about me. Like if they were to do something right, like I would love to see an era where we just get these fully upscaled remake. Like look at Ocarina of Time. Yeah, it got the 3DS one, but in its core, it was still Ocarina of Time N64 engine type game. It didn't do this graphical overhaul that makes it a new experience, in my opinion. If you were to take Ocarina of Time and like truly just bring it to 2025, I would buy it.
Oh, totally.
It has to have effort though. Like it has to be, they could leave every story beat the same and just give it the whole overscale of graphics, and I would do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to that point. Same with Mario 64. I would love a modern Mario 64.
Yeah.
Be fucking cool.
In the Odyssey engine.
Yes.
That'd be crazy.
Right? That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
I think the whole remake, remaster thing, I know people are already sick of it. I think we're just getting started.
Yeah.
I think we got more to come, and like we're going to see some really cool stuff. But thanks for tuning in, you guys. If you're watching on the YouTube, make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to hit the like button. Rate and review the podcast. It definitely helps out, you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.